What's up, sports fan? Midterm elections are approaching. Quite an exciting time. But here's the problem. If you've always been a loyal Democratic voter, you might be facing the internal struggle of starting to see how the left's corruption and hidden agendas are hurting you and your family. I mean, obviously we all want inflation and wide open borders that allow dangerous criminals, human trafficking, and fentanyl into our country unchecked, along with food supply and energy shortages, and a gradual erosion of constitutional rights. Now, we all want a lot of these glorious things, don't we? But maybe you're starting to see that we're beginning to have too much of these good things, and the tide will only continue to rise even further if you keep voting exclusively blue. So what can you do? Keep voting blue no matter what! And I'm going to teach you how to weaponize some psychological tactics against yourself so that you can keep voting blue. But first, you might be wrestling with the internal struggle of, if I keep voting blue no matter who, I see the evidence that things will only get worse, but I'm scared to vote for a candidate who seems better suited for the job, who happens to be a Republican. I understand your struggle, and I can assure you, it's not okay to change your mind in how you vote. So let's dive headfirst into the shallow end on some effective strategies that'll teach you how to violate your conscience and courage so you can keep voting blue no matter who. So listen up and do as I say. Smear people. Now, you might encounter a Republican candidate who seems to you like a person who will serve you and the people better than their Democratic opponent. You might even be tempted to vote for this person. Don't be fooled by what you think. You need to smear that person so you can trick yourself out of believing what you would otherwise believe about that person. Here's how to properly smear them. Step number 1. See who they are and what they stand for, and now ignore that person. Step number 2, then make up a bunch of insults, stories, and negative character traits and project them over here as though it's a different person, because it is, but give them the same name. This smearing process will help you avoid seeing this person over here as a good person because you're fixated on this awful person over here that you've created. Now, because this is important, let's go through another good smearing example. Candidate for Arizona Governor, Kari Lake. Left to your own devices, you might accidentally see her as someone who cares about her country and state and wants to protect them by having legal immigration processes upheld. She wants to keep drugs and human trafficking from just openly frolicking over the border. She wants to keep taxes low, and she wants to clean up public schools. But she's a Republican. So now we imagine the new person over here and make up some very unsavory things that turn you off about that person. Well, she's a conspiracy theorist and she thinks there's a biological difference between men and women. I have never noticed that when I'm having sex with my wife. She's crazy and probably transphobic and racist too. And now you couldn't possibly vote for this person that you said those things about. Pro tip! If your creativity fails you while you're smearing someone, just resort to the utility smears of transphobic, homophobic, misogynist, and racist. The person you're smearing can't possibly refute these claims because you're not even talking about them. Now let me use fear to help further convince you that it's not okay to change your mind and vote with your conscience this time. Here is a fact. Only dumb, unstable people ever allow themselves to change their mind. And you don't want to be one of them, do you? Could you imagine if you looked at the beliefs and worldview that you had when you were in 3rd grade and how insane it would be if you ever allowed yourself to change your mind from that? We know that learning, growth, and better outcomes never come from changing your mind. When you grasp this concept, you develop a fear response to this person over here who happens to have an R behind their name. Let's use more fear. It's been announced recently by a very trustworthy man reading off a teleprompter that if you allow yourself to vote red, then you are a dangerous extremist. Now, with that intimidation tactic at play, you have 2 choices. You can either abide by your courage and vote with your conscience, or you can cower down in fear from the intimidation and vote accordingly. And I don't know about you, but I know I'm the type of person who's intimidated into the correct answer. In closing, we're living at a critical time, and admittedly, the media does a pretty good job of smearing people for you. But with midterms approaching and Dems way down in the polls, and a lot of Democrats already unfortunately announcing that they'll be voting red, during this critical time, you can't leave it all up to the media. You've got to take it upon yourself and do the work to make sure you help make a difference in making sure that no difference is made. It's my sincerest hope that when you weaponize these tactics against yourself, you'll be able to put your conscience and critical thinking into a grave where they belong so you can keep voting blue no matter who. This message is paid for by the United States for a Destructed America Foundation. Hey there, you beautiful freedom lover. I wanted to let you know my comedy special, Please Censor This, is available now. We've also got a Freedom Lovers VIP bonus edition with access to my community and some other amazing bonus features. And people are saying they love the special. Right, buddy? I wish it was censored. I'll bet you do. You can get access to Please Censor This now by going to pleasecensorthis.com or hitting the link in the description. Enjoy. I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Magnesium Breakthrough, made by Bioptimizers. Is that facing forward? That's cool. Do you ever get stressed in the world we live in? Whether it's personal stress, world stress, New World Order stress, country stress? Haha, me too. Now we have two choices from there. We can either accumulate stress in our body every single day and it goes nowhere other than frying us and our peace of mind, or we can choose to do something about it so we can de-stress ourselves and be free from what would otherwise weigh us down. That's why I love Magnesium Breakthrough, because it helps give me freedom from stress. A lot of people think the only way to de-stress yourself is to meditate for 6 hours, which means now you're getting stressed because you're not getting other stuff done, or sit in a flotation tank for 9 hours. But a lot of people don't realize one key nutrient can effectively help de-stress you, and that nutrient is magnesium. But it's not as easy as you think. First of all, there's 7 different forms of magnesium that your body needs in order to effectively de-stress yourself from a nutritional angle. The other complicating factor is a lot of foods are now deficient in magnesium because of depleted soils. And you might say, well, I take a vitamin mineral supplement, I get magnesium through that. Well, unfortunately, most supplements only contain a couple weak forms of magnesium. But Magnesium Breakthrough contains all 7 forms of magnesium that you need so you can de-stress yourself the way you want. Now, I don't know about you, but I know I'm the type of person who would rather not accumulate stress and instead de-stress myself. That's why I've been taking Magnesium Breakthrough for over 2.5 years. It's now simply part of my evening routine. I just take 2 capsules in the evening, usually for me about 7 or 8 p.m., and it helps me get a better night of sleep, de-stress myself, and I wake up the next day ultimately more refreshed with a better mood outlook and better energy. And I've been taking Magnesium Breakthrough for 2.5 years because it simply works for me. And if you want to check out Magnesium Breakthrough as a quick, simple, effective way to help you de-stress yourself, just go to magnesiumbreakthrough.com/JP. And while you're there, please use the discount code AWAKEN for a healthy deal. Here's to de-stressing yourself. Enjoy.